Next news. Breaking news from the White House.
I'm Gary Franchi coming to you from the White House with a story that should make every single American taxpayer absolutely furious. $19 million stolen. Not from some offshore account, not from some foreign government, from you. From Medicare, from hospice care meant for dying Americans. And when a brave journalist exposed it all, Governor Gavin Newsom didn't thank him, he attacked him. Now you need to see this because this is what's happening in California right now. Fraudsters, many of them foreign nationals, are setting up fake hospice companies in strip malls, empty offices. No patients, no care, just billing addresses collecting your tax dollars. We're talking about operations that bill Medicare millions and then vanish. And the cars in the parking lots, Cybertrucks, BMWs, Mercedes, it's not some small-time scam. This is an industry, and it's happening because California's leadership either can't stop it or just won't. This affects every single one of us. Every dollar stolen from Medicare is a dollar that should go to your grandmother, your father, your loved one who actually need it. In the end-of-life care, right? Where are they getting it? Instead, it's funding luxury vehicles for con artists, and the man who should be stopping this, he's too busy making memes attacking the journalist who exposed it. Now, before we get into these explosive reports, I want to share something very personal with you. You see, for years, my wife battled chronic pain and anxiety. From her diagnosis, endless doctor visits, treatments that didn't help. Watching her struggle daily, it broke my heart. And then Jonathan Otto introduced us to red light therapy. Her pain vanished, anxiety lifted. She's sleeping soundly, full of energy and life again. My own recovery and vitality? Well, better than guys half my age. Truly life-changing for us both. Now, this is not some kind of gimmick. It's backed by NASA research, FDA cleared, with studies showing rapid pain relief and recovery. When you're fighting to protect your family's health and well-being, you need solutions that actually work. Red light therapy delivered for us when nothing else could. So check it out. There's a link in the description and a promo code. You owe it to yourself and your loved ones. Now, let me show you exactly what's happening on the ground in California. You see, you're about to see investigative journalist Nick Shirley doing what Gavin Newsom refuses to do, walking up to these fake hospice operations with a camera. What he found? It will make your blood boil. See, these aren't hidden criminal enterprises. They're operating in broad daylight. Now, we're going to get to the first clip. Nick Shirley went to Van Nuys, California, what he calls the hospice capital of America. He walked right up to the place called Miracle Healing Hospice. They billed Medicare over $1 million, but watch what happens when he tries to actually find somebody who works there.
Here in Van Nuys, California, massive fraud is taking place with hospice. For instance, this location, Miracle Healing Hospice, billed over $1.3 million. Medicare paid them $966,000. Something interesting about this location, if you come right here to Miracle Healing Hospice, and if you want to knock on the door, nobody's going to answer because nobody's actually inside. And so this right here is a prime example of the millions that eventually accumulate to billions of dollars of fraud taking place here inside of California with these things like hospice, home health care, adult day health care as well. And something interesting about this location, these are all hospices. All of these are hospices. But what's super interesting about this is if you take a look at the parking lot, the cars that are in here, you have a Cybertruck, you have a brand new BMW. Over there you have 3 really nice cars, a BMW, Mercedes, and a Mercedes. And these locations are billing millions of dollars. For instance, Guardian of Angels Hospice and Blossom Hospice, they're also here. They've actually fled the location. They billed $4.8 million and $3.4 million. Massive fraud taking place here inside the state of California.
Did you catch that? Miracle Healing Hospice billed $1.3 million. Medicare paid them nearly $1 million and nobody is inside. The building is empty. But look at the parking lot. Cybertruck, brand new BMW, multiple Mercedes. Garden of Angels Hospice in the same complex, $4.8 million billed. These criminals are not even trying to hide it anymore. But here's what gets even more infuriating. Watch how Gavin Newsom responded when Nick asked him about this. You see, Nick Shirley's team, they reached out to Governor Newsom's office. Simple questions. Does the governor see a need for more oversight? Is the state doing anything about this fraud? The response they got, well, you just have to see it to believe it.
We asked, and so did you, we asked the governor of California, we asked questions like this. Does the governor see any need to ramp up oversight for daycare receiving Medi-Cal funds? You previously mentioned California's ban on new hospices. Is the state doing anything to crack down on existing hospice businesses that may be engaging in alleged fraud? Does Nick Shirley's video showing empty office suites appearing to operate as hospice concern Governor Newsom? And we get the same thing you get, Nick, which is memes, right? They dress you up in cameras and they say bad things about you, like you're the enemy. The governor should be thinking, you know what, we want to bring Nick Shirley onto our team so that we can get to the bottom of all this stuff.
Yes, the governor of California is an enemy to the people of California. He's literally working to support the fraudsters. Meanwhile, he could be working to expose the fraud. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to say, okay, let's go after the guy who's exposing the fraud. Let's not go after the fraudsters. That is what he's doing, what he's actively doing each and every single day when he makes out these statements, and all he does is blame the people who are showing the fraud. Why doesn't he say, hey, Nick, great video. How can we help?
Right? That's what I would say. Was wow, great video. How did you find this? Where did you go, and where are you going next so we can find somebody to go with you? Don't you think that would be a common response?
Exactly, because these tax dollars don't say right or left on them. They don't say Republican or Democrat.
Right.
Each tax dollar is $1 for the American people, and when they go in and steal these dollars from us, they're not robbing just the liberal Democrat in California. They're robbing everyone. Yeah. And then the governor gets mad at the person for exposing the fraud. How crazy do you have to be to think with that logic?
Yeah.
They sent him memes. The governor of California, instead of thanking this journalist for exposing billions in fraud, dressed him up in costumes and attacked him. Nick said it perfectly. How stupid do you have to be to go after the guy exposing the fraud instead of the fraudsters? These tax dollars, they don't say Republican or Democrat on them. They come from all of us. And Newsom is protecting the thieves. Now watch how deep the operation really goes. Nick kept walking that same neighborhood. Nick surely deserves government protection for what he's uncovering. And when you see what Nick found, just walking down one street in Van Nuys, you'll understand why. You see, these fake operations are literally everywhere. Watch.
This is how crazy this hospice fraud is here inside of California. You have all these businesses, they literally open up a business, they just put HFS Hospice Care Inc. They don't do anything with the storefront. And then you have another one right here, Relief Home Healthcare, absolutely empty inside. And then you have another one, SKH Home Healthcare. They're just popping up everywhere. So this isn't some random thing that's happening here inside of California and Los Angeles in this Van Nuys area. Quite literally, we've been to 2 locations so far, and they're just popping up these home healthcare, these hospice centers, and they're not even doing anything to try and hide what they're doing. No one's working the front desk. Inside this location as well, you have absolutely nobody inside it. How come there's so many of these home health care, these hospices that are popping up everywhere?
I have no idea.
And how come you think there's such a sudden rise of all these hospices and home health cares?
I have no idea, honestly.
Pretty lucrative business, or?
I wouldn't say like that's that crazy.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I know.
The same building, but now on the back side you have Canestro Care Hospice Inc., Studio Care Hospice Inc., El Primero Home Health Care right there.
And this building right here is a perfect example of a dilapidated building that is now being used for a hospice, home health care, and adult daycare.
And this is the crazy thing that appears to be happening here in California. You can just start your own hospice. You have Advent Hospice right here. If you want to start your own home health care, you can just put up a white piece of paper and stick a logo onto it and say that's your home health care company. If you want to start an adult daycare, you can just get a building like this and receive money from the government. That's the crazy thing, is inside this one building, you have an adult day health care, you have a hospice, and then you have a home health care center operating all in one location. And why are tax dollars going towards all of these buildings? And they're quite literally everywhere. Everyone should be a bit suspicious about what's happening here. Inside of these parking lots too, you'll always find a super nice BMW, Mercedes, you name it, newest Audis.
Did you see that? HFS Hospice completely empty. Relief Home Health Care, nobody inside. SKH Home Health Care abandoned. Then he goes around the back of one building. Concentro Care Hospice, Studio Care Hospice, El Primero Home Health Care, all the same dilapidated building, one building running a hospice, home health care, and adult daycare. Just white paper signs with logos, that's it. That's all you need to steal millions. But wait until you hear the numbers and how the scheme actually works. Here's a breakdown of exactly how these fraudsters operate and how they disappear before anyone can catch them. The billing velocity on just one of these fake hospices tells you everything you need to know. Watch.
What makes this hospice and home healthcare fraud so hard to crack down on, take for example this one right here, All Day Hospice Care. They have billed $3.1 million, and per beneficiary, that's about $6,000, and 24 claims per patient with only 2 codes, which means 2 services. They've had over 505 patients, and they started billing in 2023 and accumulated $3.1 million in 19 months. And that is over 12,000 claims. The velocity of the billing here is what leads me to believe this is potentially fraudulent. And what makes this hard to track is that they then just rent small little suites inside of these kind of buildings, and they run their operations from there. And once any sort of suspicion comes, they then leave, close down shop, and who knows where they go. Are they going back to Armenia? Are they going back to Russia? Are they going back to their native country? Or are they just moving to another building inside of a location here in Los Angeles? And these areas where these people are committing this fraud, it just looks dilapidated. You have storefronts that are completely closed down, homeless people walk on the streets, these businesses are all boarded up, and they're prying on people who are on the verge of death to make all their money. That's what hospice is. But that is what the business model of the hospice is they just literally rent out these small little suites, charge millions of dollars over the years. Oh my gosh. And you just have people peeing. How was that piss? You what? You masturbated a week ago? Wow. Gross. Well, there you have it. That's just the craziness of it all.
All Day Hospice Care, $3.1 million billed. Over 12,000 claims in just 19 months. 505 patients at $6,000 each using only 2 billing codes. That's not healthcare, that's a money printing operation. And when suspicions come, they vanish back to Armenia, back to Russia, or just down the street to another strip mall suite, preying on people on the verge of death to steal from the American taxpayer. So let's put this all together. This is what California has become under Democrat leadership, a playground for fraudsters. Empty offices billing millions, luxury cars funded by your Medicare dollars, criminals who prey on the dying then disappear across international borders in the governor. Instead of deploying investigators, instead of thanking the journalist who exposes this, Gavin Newsom makes memes attacking him. $19 million exposed in just these clips. But this is billions nationwide, and the Trump administration is watching. The days of looking the other way are over. So folks, this is why we do what we do here at the Next News Network. The mainstream media won't touch this story. They won't show you the empty hospice offices with Cybertrucks in the parking lot. They won't tell you the governor of California is protecting the fraudsters, but we will. If the story made you angry, good. Share this video right now. Send it to everybody you know. Hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss when we expose corruption like this. And drop a comment below. I want to know what you think should happen to these fraudsters and the politicians who protect them. The truth is just too important to stay silent. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and stay free. I'm Gary Franchi from outside the White House. And as always, God bless America.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now. You know out.